Hey everyone, Nathan here, registered kinesiologist here at Teamworks. Today we're going to go over a general warm-up and what I would do to activate and work on range of motion for a squat. So firstly, a warm-up, why is it important? Warming up helps increase blood flow to the muscles, increases our range of motion for specific joints, and also helps us prep for a certain motion, which actually helps performance and decrease chances of injury. So what I like to do for a general warm up, that could be, light walk on the treadmill, a light jog on the bike. But usually it'll only be like 5 to 10 minutes just to get the heart rate up and blood flowing to help increase that range of motion. Secondly, usually what I like to do is I like to go into some dynamic stretches. This is just something, it's a controlled motion for mobility. So what we're going to be doing first is a leg swing. So we can hold on to something here. We're going to take our legs. We want to be controlled through this leg here, and we're just going to go lightly swinging. We want to make sure when we're doing this, we're working on that range of motion of the muscle, but we're not aggressively swinging. We want to be nice and controlled through that motion. So when we're doing this, we want to do 10 to 15 reps, just lightly warming up, playing around with that range. And then we're also going to be doing hamstring swings. So same thing, nice and controlled. We're not aggressively swinging. We're going 10 to 15 reps. The last dynamic stretch I like to work on is the hip circles. So we'll be facing that treadmill once again. We're going to drive our knee up, out to the side, and tap down. Nice and controlled motion. Think of a little box you're trying to step that foot over. And again, 10 to 15 reps. Once I'm done with that dynamic mobility, I like to get more into actually prepping for that squat mechanic. So 2 stretches I like to work on is the deep squat hold, because this is kind of mimicking that motion. So you're going to go shoulder width apart. You're going to go low into a squat, as low as your range of motion allows you. Chest up, and you're going to drive your elbows into those knees to open up. And you're just going to hold this and play around, kind of rock back and forth. We're going to do this for roughly 30 seconds, 45 seconds, and just trying to sit into that squat. The next one I like to do is called the world's greatest stretch. And what this one's going to look like, we're going to be in a lunge position. So we're going to have our leg forward here. Back leg is going to be into a lunge. So you can hover it up if you're able. If it's a little too intense, you can drop that knee to the ground. From here, we're going to take our outside hand and we're going to rotate, reach to the sky. Exhale at the top and then back down. And then take the other hand. Same thing. We want to perform that for up to 5 reps per side and just feel through that range of motion. See any tightness, see anything else that we need to work on. The next part, after we've done our dynamic stretches, our static stretches, we want to get into some activation of the muscles. We want to make sure we're firing up the muscles that are involved in the squat. So what I like to do is some glute activation exercises. What we're going to do here, we're going to be in a quadruped position. We're going to make sure our knees are over the hips, hands are over the shoulders. We're going to take our leg and we're going to do an exercise called the donkey kick to prime that glute muscle. We're going to be here. We're going to extend and kick back. Nice and controlled motion and trying to contract through our glute muscle. Performing this exercise 10 to 12 reps. The second one we're going to do is called a fire hydrant. So same thing, same position, and now we're going out. So we're taking that leg, opening up to the side. Nice and controlled, similar to what I said with the dynamic stretches. We want to be in control of the motion. We don't want to be swinging. So no rotation through that trunk. And again, 10 to 12 reps per side. The last activation exercise I like to do before I get into my squats is a glute bridge. So heels tucked close. Hand preference, if you want it here, if you want it on the hips, whatever you prefer. What I'm trying to do here is drive my hips up, contracting through my glutes at the top, just as like this. Squeeze, and at the top, you're squeezing through those glutes. You're gonna hold for a 3-second count, and then control on the way down. Up, squeeze, and down. This one I like to do around 15 reps, really getting those glutes fired up, because when we're squatting, we want those glutes to be activated. So once we do all that, we warm up, do our dynamic, our mobility, some activation exercises, then we can get into our bodyweight squat. And as a bodyweight squat, it is a compound lift, so there is a lot of cues to be focused in on this. So as we're squatting, we want to make sure we're shoulder width apart, feet slightly angled, chest up, head up, and as we're going down, imagine a seat behind you and you're just dropping into that seat. So you can have your hands here, hands straight, whatever you prefer. We're here, squat down. As I'm going down, pushing out with those knees, allowing for a deeper range to that squat. We want to try and be parallel, as you can see from the side here. We want to be equal level to those knees or a little slightly lower. We don't want to start a little higher up. We'll get a little bit more quad there. We want to go deep into that pocket, pushing through the heels and back up. So again, one more time. Chest up, squatting down, pushing those knees slightly out, keeping those heels glued to the ground, contracting through the glutes. And that is what you would do to warm up for a squat, or what I like to do to warm up for a squat. Thank you, and I hope that helps.